You know, after waiting for my game to download, I realized it's probably better that I use my time to explain why Canada has become a shithole country. Canada, in my opinion, has become a shithole country because, like every other country, it is like putting lipstick on a pig. Lipstick on a pig. Canada has become a country where we're putting lipstick on a pig. God. I sound like such an idiot. I can't even say the word lipstick. I must be a failure. And a new immigrant to Canada. Goddamn moron can't even speak a word of lick of English. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that Canada has become a shithole country. And I don't know why. What I can say from my own experience being born in this country, I guess that was a privilege that I now know is quite real. What I did not have the privilege to have been born whiter in complexion to really identify that Canadian value. Independent of that, what I really think about why Canada has become a shithole country is because I think it's just really incompetent people. People in power that don't have any means of being there. They shouldn't have been there to begin with. Like, there is no reason that you put someone in place that has no idea what they're going to do, no idea how they're going to do the job, but they've just been giving that job because they were in the right place at the right time or whatever it was. And now you're seeing that in the political debates more than ever, for people being called out for being incompetent at what they're actually trying to do. Like, and so I guess the real thing is, why has Canada become a shithole country? Because I'm not sure but I feel like I live in more of a city community or a township community more than I live in a place called Canada. There's no real sense of Canada outside of my community. And that community, wherever you are, may identify their Canadianship in one way or the other. But for the lack of better terms, lately it's just been shit to being Canadian. The education system has been robbing international students out of their minds by weaponizing the Canadian student visa programs. But that's never covered. Or the fact that there are only 3 telecommunication companies that own the entire jurisdiction of Canada. That's never really covered either. I wonder if you actually are smarter than me, which is not that hard. You could probably figure out a lot more than I could. And if you can, put it in the comments, because I want to learn more about why I think Canada has become a shithole country. But I remember I could tell you from a fact, when I was a child, growing up in elementary school, middle school, high school, all throughout my life, I grew up around kids from all different places and all different cultures. And I guess it was a great multicultural experience, which is unlike any other place on earth. I've traveled a lot to quote unquote really high tech places like South Korea, Japan, all these places, like and you see it's really like a homogenized society. There's only Koreans, there's only Japanese, there's only Chinese, there's no one else really. So Canada is a beautiful place for that, but now it's been weaponized, so there is no real diversity anymore. There's just a load of one people or the other people, and they all flock to try to make their own cities where they grew up in their hometown back in Canada, and now Canada has actually shifted into something where we don't even know what it is anymore. There are statues being built in the country that have no values, no place here, really, because we have no real leadership. We don't really have any principles, a foundation, that a constitution that most of us live or abide by. We're all so different that it just feels like a fleeting moment. And I think we really need to fix that. I feel like we can't really rely on something like Tim Hortons and hockey to feel like, oh, that's what Canada is. Because, god damn it, that's fucking bullshit. So I identify the shittiness of the country. I identify that the cost of living in the country is out of the fucking moon. I identify that there are only really two genders, and then a category of people that are confused. And it's okay to be confused, but you can't be confused enough to confuse us into believing your confusion is reality, because then we're all confused. And I feel like just saying that puts me in so many crosshairs, and by just speaking puts you in crosshairs. And then it feels like, have you forgotten about Aristotle? Have you forgotten about Jesus Christ? Have you forgotten about all of the philosophers that kind of speak from their heart? And if they're attacked for their values or for their speech, that actually is, it really shows your barbarism, your savagery. And so I'm really an open-minded person and very accepting of most things in the world. But to start to propagate your ideas on other people, I really hate that. I truly do. And I'm just like you. And I fall into the same traps just like you do. I'm just a person. I'm just trying to be a good person, better than I was yesterday. That's the only thing. But I can identify that shit's fucked up here. And so hopefully I'll be like more of a realistic observer of what's going on and try to relay as eloquently as I can to you what I see, like a fucking bird in the wind, like a pigeon with mail, like a pigeon, a male pigeon. And with that, I bid you cacao. Cacao.